You rock, my friends. You Rock podcast is for women like you who want to own your life and live an engaged and joyful life. Hosted by Dr. Aliyah Majid, mom of 3, devoted wife, and a scientist turned life coach on a mission to empower women to take control of their lives. In this podcast, we deliver tools, insights, and inspiration on rocking your own life, owning to your highest potential, and becoming the best version of you. Now, here's your host, Dr. Aliyah Majid.
When I mentioned just now about the energy level, right? If you don't focus on that moment, meaning that if you are really burnt out and you cannot focus, it doesn't matter how much time you put into a certain work that you are doing, because energy matters and attention matters, and productivity relies on person. So if you don't focus, if you don't learn how to focus more and accomplishing the goal, the work that needs to get done to move you closer to the goal, you won't get there. Next is to understand and know your starting point, as I mentioned just now, and know your spending, where you are spending your time throughout your day. And as I mentioned just now, again and again, really understanding where does your time being used on. Okay, what kind of tasks are there that you are doing. Okay, so one of the trick that I have been using is this using a productivity matrix that I have available for you to download. So you can click in the link below, which is a productivity metric that focuses on how you can manage your attention more on the productive tasks in your work. So check the download, and I have also written down the instructions on how to use it in the productivity planner that is available below this podcast in the show notes. So make sure to download that. Okay, so know where you spend your time on. There are so many productivity tactics out there. So the classic one is like is the Pomodoro technique. Okay, you do something for 25 minutes with a lot of focus, then you take a break for 5 minutes. And then you repeat the cycle again and again, and you have 4 cycles in 1 hour. I'm sorry, you have 2 cycles in 1 hour, and actually at the end of the third or fourth cycle, you could have a longer break. So this technique could help you to get started. So instead of thinking like a big task that you need to accomplish within a day, think about shrinking down the task to the lowest resistance that you have. And let's go back to the example of writing a 20 pages report just now. So maybe now you know that within 25 minutes you can write, let's say, 3 pages of your report. So instead of having that anxiety to finish all these 20 pages report in one day, you know that within 25 minutes you can complete 3 pages, and that's okay. And then that is the goal for that that moment. So repeat the cycle, and then within if you repeat the three pages, if you can focus that consistently in that cycle of 20 minutes focus and then 5-minute breaks, within 7 Pomodoro cycle, you will already finish the report already. So think about it. When you started to think about this chunk of moment, you started to realize that it is actually achievable for you to do these huge tasks that you have in front of you by chunking it down into a more manageable task, But honestly, I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend you to do that kind of work in just one day, because who can really focus on the same thing in a longer hour throughout the day. So think about that, because our mind works um, endlessly. I mean, tired. It will get tired if you focus too long on the same thing over the day. So think about that. um, the main takeaway on the Pomodoro technique is that to shrink down the big task, shrink down to the resistance to starting the task. It's like jumping into a cold pool. So when you started to get into a pool, a cold pool, you feel like shivering, and then after a while you get used to it, right? And then you are okay with being in the pool, and you you are okay to spend longer hour in the pool, although it is at the start of it you might feel a resistance in jumping into that pool. So you can try to do this, but for me, to be honest, I kind of couldn't use this technique too much, because I found that the task that I need to focus on takes longer than 24 minutes, meaning that I would not like to take a break in the middle of it. So I kind of stretch it a little bit more, and instead of having like 5 minute smaller break, I take a longer break after maybe 50 minutes of focus work. So it depends on your level of focus. If you are not used to focus in a longer period of time, you can start by just focusing on 25 minutes of your time. And what I mean by focus is really, 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 really focus on just one thing, just one work in front of you. And then there's the rule of three, three most important thing that you need to do every day. So think about what are the top three things that you need to do every day, and focus on that first before anything else. Okay, this is the second technique that I constantly using it. I think for the last 10 years I've been using this, and it works, man. It is as easy as that. You just decide what are the top three most important things that you need to do every day. Okay, and on top of that, what I would suggest is for you to, for example, if you are taking the break, right, you can take a break in the middle of the work that you are working on, instead of when the work are finished. So what this means is that when you come back to working on the work that you are working on, you know already what's the next step to work on, instead of needing to think about what's the next step that you need to take, and figuring out and taking more time to start again the next work that you should be working on. So leave, like for example, the example that I gave just now, the 20 pages report. So leave in the middle of, let's say, leave in the middle of the chapter, or leave the thoughts that you want to write. Maybe the paragraph shouldn't be completed yet, so that okay, what are the things that you want to continue writing in this paragraph after taking some break. Sometimes when we are taking that break, the things that we are working on, it absorbs in the mind. The mind starts to make sense of what we are thinking about, and connecting the dots between all of the things that we are working on. And we may find new things. We may find new creative things to write, and this is a good way for you to be more creative and productive too, right? So yeah. Are you struggling to find time for yourself or for things that matters to you? Or if you even ever find some time, you found that you can't simply slow down and stop thinking about work. If you are one of those women, you'll benefit from the Success Accelerator program, my 12 weeks one-on-one success and productivity coaching program that helps you to do less and get more work done so that you can spend more time doing things you love. Book a free call with me at draliamajid.com/coaching, or you can do a self-assessment using my free life audit workbook at draliamajid.com/life audit. Or you can even join my Facebook group from the link below. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.